Hi, just a quick video on a new formula that I have now. Something that I keep in mind now after thinking about this, taking care of my inner child, seeing breatharianism and healing addiction as childcare. But it's not only childcare, it's also adult care, it's also elderly care, grandmother care. My mother, my inner grandmother, my inner child, they all need their satisfaction. So now when I do things, so the formula, let's go into the formula. The formula is that well-being for me to feel well, when I take action or I make decisions, is to consult, respect my inner child, my inner adult, and my inner grandmother. So everything that I do should ideally satisfy all of them. And I'm aware that different actions, different decisions, or different actions or activities, they nourish them, maybe not equally, but none of them should suffer, or none of them should be ignored. And kind of keeping that dialogue with them, like using this tool to actually have them in conversation with each other in my mind. So is this, is that good for you? Does that make you happy? How can we maybe do it differently so that you can also be satisfied? And so I think that's really the key for well-being. It's being sure that most of my actions, that's what well-being means to me, at least. I think that's a very good anyway, to do, what was I saying? Everything that I do, that I whoa, gosh, I get so easily distracted when I'm outside and making these videos. People appear and dogs, and anyway, so yeah, that's really what makes me feel good and satisfied. So I realized, I discovered this because I was so focused on taking care of my child, but I was like, but my adult and my grandmother also want to play. They also want to be involved in the playing. They should ideally be involved in playing. Like when I'm drawing, make sure there is intention, make sure there is imagination for the, okay, so let's say if I'm drawing, let's take that action or activity. I'm drawing. Let me make sure there's imagination. Let me make sure there's colors. Let me make sure there are stories. Fun, joy for my child. And then let me make sure for the adult that there is an intention, there is logic in the story, perhaps, and there is, or how it's told, how it's communicated, and there is maybe it's like the drawing is communicating something specific, like an idea, or maybe it's like maybe it's a riddle or something, And for the grandmother, there should be this observing, this bigger perspective, this calm, focus. I mean, focus is something they all have. They can all focus well, but so this calm and a good atmosphere while I'm drawing, perhaps, you know, maybe there's candles and taking care of that, and that it's I don't know, you know, I'm still learning, so, but it's something I keep in mind now. Everything I do. Also, I thought of this because I saw, like, I'm noticing it with runners. I see runners and I see them kind of like almost like they're struggling, and I look at them and I think, where's the child? Where's the child there? You know, did you remember the child? You know, are you satisfying the child, or is it? And I really, I notice every time that I get a craving for food. It happened today. We were in a cafe, me and my partner, and I was writing a lot of notes, and it was kind of like I was just copying notes over to another book, and it was nice, but there was not a lot of playing there. And so my child eventually got bored, and it started asking for food, like, those fries are good, huh? And they're so close. And what about the cakes at this cafe? Like, did you check them out? So I noticed, like, wow, as soon as my child is not, as my child has not gotten attention, is getting bored, it will start asking for food. It will start, you know, it's just a cry for attention. So I was like, oh, okay, all right, I hear you. So what do you want to do? Like, okay, this is getting too boring to sit here and write notes. You know, you need to move, you know, you want to play. Shall we go to the forest? Or, you know, so yeah, here I am in the forest with my child. And was there something else I wanted to say? Don't remember. Yeah, that's really, I'm curious to hear about your experience of this. If you would keep this in mind, like everything you do, and if you could ask yourself, am I satisfying, am I taking care of the child, my adult, my grandmother, grandfather, you know, in this activity? Are they all happy? And, you know, like, yeah, and notice how you feel, and if it's a good formula. I think it is. I think it might be. I think it's a good tool. Okay, that was it. Bye. Yeah, I wanted to add, I didn't mean that running is not including the child. I wanted to clarify, like, I mean, it's just kind of how you choose to run. They're like, this is about very small details in perspective and how you do, how you choose to do. So yeah, because of course running is very much, you know, child play, but it can also be very harsh and very forceful and very kind of like, I see those very serious faces, and so yeah, like with maybe more, you know, more joy. It's this joy, right, that kind of brings in the child. Yeah. One more thing. I was also thinking, like, what about meditation? And I thought, the child is sleeping in meditation, right? You just hold the child while it's sleeping in your arms.